What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are doing a direct-to-consumer golf ball today. We are doing the Wright and Ditson. I bet you haven't heard of that one before. If you have, you might have been wondering about it. So let's dive in. All right, so I love doing direct-to-consumer golf balls on the channel because honestly, it's like playing slots. You never know if you're going to hit or if you're going to completely miss and kind of look embarrassed. And that's kind of the case with direct-to-consumer golf balls. I've tested ones on the channel like the Big Crusher, for example, which got 99th out of 100 on our top 100 list. Not so great. But we've also done the Sugar Golf Ball, which was #1. So all the way from #1 all the way to the worst, you never know quite what you're going to get. Essentially reviewing direct-to-consumer golf balls is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So here we have the Wright and Ditson. So this was actually recommended on my Instagram via direct message by Perry. Thank you so much, Perry. He essentially messaged me and said, hey, basically you should do a review on these. And after checking them out, yeah, it seemed like kind of a win-win. I mean, based on the price, the value, what they were offering, the design, all that stuff, I thought it's definitely worth a shot. We'll see. Essentially, Wright and Ditson makes really 2 golf balls, really just one though. I mean, it's a 4-piece urethane, which is awesome. But then they also do this really cool, I'll show the pictures here, but it's like essentially a vintage type golf ball. It looks like it was 100 years old. I actually really like that. I should probably get some and test them for the channel, but I love how those look. But I think this is going to be their main line that they want people to use on the course and stuff. So we'll dive right into this one. We'll dive into the price point first before we get into the design. And that's really what makes this golf ball stand out. This golf ball, as I said, is a 4-piece urethane, but as you can see from that price, it comes in at $29.99, which is absolutely insane. This golf ball is not playing around. Your Snell being at $33 a dozen still was an incredible value. The Vice is $39, but if you buy them in bulk pricing, you get them, for $33, $34, somewhere in there, depending on how many you buy. The fact that Wright and Ditson just comes out and says, yeah, 4-piece urethane, it's gonna be $29.99. They're making a statement. That immediately makes a statement because not all direct-to-consumer golf balls understand that the whole idea behind it is to save money. You don't have to pay the tour players. You don't have to pay all, the retailers. You just sell it directly to consumer and cut out the middleman and save everyone money. So sometimes I review a golf ball company that is direct-to-consumer and they're $60 a dozen clear. Or, they're a decent deal if you buy them with their membership Encore, stuff like that. Not to harp on Encore, I love Encore. But I'm just saying, a lot of companies now are trying to find ways to benefit themselves that way in order to save you money. Whereas this golf ball is just like, no, $29.99. Come on down. I'm here for it. So let's get into the design of the golf ball. With a value score like that, it's already off to a phenomenal start. So I hope this golf ball does well. As you can see by the design, it has a vintage style look and feel to it. On the front here, it says Wright and Ditson. If you go on their website, you can see a lot of this type of vintage look and vintage feel to it, which is awesome. A lot of people are going to really like that. I love it a lot. It's a basic logo, but the fact that it has like this English style font, really cool. It's different. It's unique. It does have a pretty decent dimple pattern. The urethane coating does feel medium. It's not your Pro V1. It doesn't feel like a AAA golf ball, but it does feel sticky, which is really good. So it's not like a cheap one. It's probably in the middle somewhere, which is good. And then if you look on the side, the alignment tool, I have mixed feelings about it. On one hand, I like that it is so unique. I like that it's the arrow. I like that, they're trying to be different, but I don't like that it's disproportioned, and I don't think it's thick enough for me to actually use it as an alignment tool. So I might end up just drawing a line there or maybe putting one of my Golf Dot stickers over it. Who knows? I'll give it a try, but just looking at it from this, I don't know if the alignment tool will be that great. But I'll tell you what I really, really love about these golf balls also is they have a marker system, essentially is what they call it. They have the front 9, they have the back 9. I'll show you the pictures there, but you can essentially get them with these little pictures on the side that really have a vintage Americana home style country feel to them, which I'm originally from Missouri, so that's right up my alley. I actually got the back 9 version that has this one's an eagle on it, but it also has like the cast iron skillet, and they're all golf themed too. Like this is birdie, and then cast iron's like, the breakfast ball because it's got eggs in the cast iron skillet. Really cool, really unique, really fun. I've showed some people at work. They thought it was really cool too. It's kind of like a boutique style golf ball, and I love the design of it. And again, Off to a great start. Price point's great, really interesting design options, 4-piece urethane. It almost seems too good to be true, so I hope the numbers are great. But let's get out to the chipping and putting green, excuse me, and let's see how it does out there. Let's go, baby. Let's see what kind of performance you offer here. Oh, wow. Well, that's nice. That's pleasant. Try it again here. Okay, a little low, but really good spin, really good checkup. Wow, that's super impressive. Okay, a little too much on that one. Yeah, and I knew it too. When I hit it, I knew it was too much. Let's try the putting motion here. Let's try a little, open the face here and just do a little putting motion. Oh my goodness, beautiful. So a little bit of a firm release, but as far as how the checkup was, if this was on a normal green and not on carpet, very nice, very balanced. I like to see that. Really good. Oh wow, a massive amount of checkup there. Really good. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. That's really good, really balanced. Oh, that's a ton of spin. Awesome. We're going to see how the feel is with the Wright and Ditson. Oh, wow. Holy cow. A lot of spring and almost no feedback. I mean, it's really springy. That may be the most springy 4-piece golf ball I've ever tested in my life. Holy cow. It doesn't feel like a 4-piece at all. That was a little mishit by me, but I mean, still almost no feedback. All right, so here we go with the blade putter. Let's see how we do here. Wow, so springy, man. I mean, look at that. It's still going. It's so springy. Okay. Well, thank God it hit the center of the cup, because if it didn't hit that, it was going another 10 feet past. All right, so the Wright and Ditson, with a 4-piece golf ball like this, I really expected it to feel a lot clickier, feel it spin a little bit more, and neither of those were the case. Starting off with the wedge, the spin, it actually was a really nice balanced feel right in the middle. A balanced, right in the middle amount of spin, a balanced amount right in the middle of forgiveness. I just don't see that. This might actually be the softest, most forgiving 4-piece golf ball I've ever tested, which is really weird. I just didn't expect that. Most of these direct-to-consumers, when they come out with a 4-piece, whether it be the Clear, whether it be Snell, whether it be any of them, they always try to mimic, you know, your old style Pro V1 and your old style golf balls that really just have that true response feedback is what they call it. I don't know about any of that. I just know that it's usually firm and clicky and all that stuff. Not the case here. Really soft, really squishy, an ample amount of forgiveness. There's really not any left or right bounce if you open the face or close the face. It just kind of releases the right amount and then releases firm toward the hole. I got one of them to go, but other than that, I was trying to find the learning curve to find out where I needed to be, because it's not like most golf balls. Then when I came to the putter, you know, the mallet, I'll be honest, there's no feedback. It felt extremely dead. It's extremely bouncy ball effect off the club, meaning it's just, when you hit it, it just boing, springs off, goes way past the hole. I had to kind of find the right amount of come back and hit it, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's really good for beginners. It's really good for intermediate guys. You don't have to come back as far, but there's no feedback. As far as if you hit it off the toe, if you hit it off the middle, you're not going to feel that. You're just not. When I got to the blade putter, on the other hand, it did have maybe slightly more click, but still very, very, very minimal feedback when it came off the club. If I did miss-hit it, I would hear a little bit more click, but still, bouncy ball effect. Boom, gone. I hit so many past the hole, and I'd have to go, okay, take a little off. I'd come back a little bit and hit it and go, oh, Nick, you got to hit it. It's 2 feet past the hole. That's usually something I only see with really soft, forgiving 2-piece golf balls. I'll see that with the Wilson Duo. I'll see that with, you know, the 50 compression, you know, a TaylorMade soft response. I'll see things like that. I just don't see it with a 4-piece urethane old style tour golf ball. It's really weird to see that. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's more of a modern style feel. A lot of people like soft. A lot of people like forgiveness. So it's not a bad thing. It just kind of caught me by surprise. So let's see how the numbers do and see if that translates. All right, so if I had to describe the feel of this golf ball overall to you, it would be kind of like what a lot of companies are doing now. They're not trying to be really traditional, firm feeling. There's really no firmness in this golf ball. I know it's a four-piece. I know you would think, oh, it's probably clicky and firmy. Nope, nope. It's actually very balanced. It feels very soft, squishy. There's a little bit of click there for feedback. It reminds me a lot of the Snell and the Vice Pro and all these other golf balls I've been testing. It's really right in that middle balance, which I like. I think that's actually a good feeling. Now, where I will tell you the Wright and Ditson sets itself apart from these other golf balls I've been testing is if you do hit it off the toe, yes, it lets you know. I mean, it doesn't, it's not obnoxious, but it just kind of pulls you to the side and says, yeah, you mishit that one. But let's be a little bit better. When you hit it well, though, it's like Game 7 of the World Series, or Game 7 of the NBA Finals, or the Super Bowl, 2 minutes drill, down by 2, down by 3, whatever the case is. It's amazing. When you actually square this golf ball and hit it correctly, it feels like an absolute nuclear missile coming off the club. So much that you almost know, like, oh my God, I hit that a mile. And I'll get into more of that in a second, but I love the feel of this golf ball. The balance of how they got it is phenomenal. It will definitely turn a lot of people on. A lot of people are going to play this and go, wow, for a four-piece. I would say this is probably the best feeling four-piece golf ball I've ever played. So let's start with the 50-yard pitch. As far as the spin, the RPM backwards, 7,392. That number is below average, unfortunately. It's about 500 RPM below my average. It just doesn't want to spin on the 50-yard pitch as much as the other golf balls. Like this, most of the time I get around 8,000, if it's a tour golf ball. So getting that little is going to be a little bit of an adjustment, but it's not the worst. It's not going to not stick a green. It's just, instead of hitting and ripping back to you, it's just going to kind of hit and stay. And is that a bad thing? Maybe for some players, but for other players, it's not going to be that big of a deal. So not off to the best start with the performance there, but let's get into the 9-iron here and see how we did there. 1.27 on your smash. That's actually the best I've gotten so far. 132.6, that's incredible. 132.8, incredible. 102.5. And 7,220. So the golf ball actually spins great when you're hitting it with full compression with the 9-iron shots. And then it launched a little bit low at 22.9. So really good there. Launched low, stayed out of the wind a little bit, but I got phenomenal ball speed with it. 102.5 on your ball mile per hour speed, and that is a brand new record. Again, we just continue to break records, which is awesome. So I'd like to talk about the 9-iron real quick. This is going to be a little long, but just bear with me. When I was hitting the ball with the 9-iron, I knew, it's like I was telling you before, when you hit this golf ball in the center, you just know. I mean, because you hit it and you go, oh my goodness, I really got a hold of that. And there was a couple times I looked to the launch, my phone, the launch monitor goes to your phone, and my average is about 125 carry with my 9-iron. As you can see, I got 133 with this golf ball, 132, 133 in there. There was a couple times I really hit it well and I looked over and it said 140.9. And I had to do a double take, and I thought that, and I looked at the club because I thought maybe this is my 8-iron. I think one time in my life I might have hit 135 or 136 if I really connected with a golf ball. But getting 140 multiple times, I was like, that's insane. Like it's not even, I thought maybe something was wrong with the launch monitor. And so I thought, okay, so I tried actually hitting a different ball. And then I was like, oh no, 125 or 127. Okay. Wow. Okay. Maybe it is. So when I was done testing the 9-iron, my only thought was, well, there's only one way to prove it, yes or no. And that's to do an on-field test. Now, I'm not going to drive to a golf course and just hit 9-iron there. So what I did was I went to one side of my yard, put 5 golf balls down, this one being the 5th one. The other ones were randoms, that yard balls, whatever I have. And I hit all of them. And essentially what happens is we have this fence. This fence runs like this, and then we have a schoolyard behind it. 125 yards is about 10 yards before that fence. So in theory, if I get a little extra, it should just hit the fence. So I hit the first 4, boom, 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 125, 125. I bladed 1, hit the fence, 125, all right there. Excellent. My wife and kids were actually out there, and I swear to you, I hit this golf ball, and my first immediate words when I connected with it was, oh my God, that's just gone. It's gone. I absolutely caught it with every inch of 100% the middle of the face. And that ball took off like a bat out of heck. And I kid you not, the fence line runs here. It's like 135 to the fence. I had to go and look over the fence, and in the schoolyard they have one of those baseball, kickball, like the backstop fences, you know, where like it's out there. The ball was up against that. It stopped it. So, I mean, you're looking at 140, 145, maybe 150 if it had rolled because it's just sand and grass. It would have just rolled. Insane. I couldn't even get the ball back. I mean, it cleared that much. And so I was just flabbergasted. Yes, confirmed. The golf ball jumps off short irons. Highest I've ever gotten, farthest I've ever gotten, both confirmed with a real test and on the launch monitor. Blown away. Now you might be wondering then, well, okay, Nick, then why'd you ever average 133? The forgiveness was not as great as I'd hoped it would be. It's not bad, but it's just not great either, because if you miss-hit it, you're looking at like 125, 123, and if you hit it great, you're looking at 140, and all that averages out to 133 in the middle. So is it necessarily a bad thing? No. Most of the time with a golf ball, if I'm getting 115 or 110 with a 9-iron, that's bad forgiveness. That's TP5X, you know, level of unforgiveness, if you will. Not the case here, though. It's just average. It's not great. It's not bad. But that's why it ended up averaging at 133. Because if you do miss-hit it, yeah, you'll lose probably 7 yards. If you do hit it correctly, though, you hit it really far. And where that becomes an issue is, okay, I'm lining up for a 133 shot. If I absolutely pure it, I'm over the green. If I accidentally hit a little off the toe, I'm now chipping onto the green. So it's like, well, how do I find that balance? So that's the only thing that would kind of concern me, but I am not going to complain about something that I just rocket into the stratosphere and break records with. So let's see how the 7-iron does here. Let's get into the 7. We are looking at a 1.38 smash factor. Again, the highest I've tested so far. 163.3, incredible number. 164.7, 116.7. That's another new record for ball speed. I've never averaged that high. Holy cow. 5,727, so it launches just below mid, and it launches at 19, or it spins at mid, excuse me, and then it launches at 19, which is mid also. So really phenomenal numbers there as well. We've broken records now, 9-iron, 7-iron, it's compressing, and I'm telling you guys, when you hit this ball right, it's just something else. It's really interesting. I've never felt anything quite like it. So I love that so far. 5 hybrid, we are looking at a smash factor of 1.40. Again, that's the highest I've tested. 180.9, 182.9, those are just slightly above average. 125.8 on your ball mile per hour speed, that's pretty decent, that's good. 5,473, that's the difference there. That's why the distance wasn't as impressive, is because the spin number was so high, and then it did actually launch a little low, so that could be part of it too. So it wants to launch low, but it wants to spin really high. I actually love that. I love that it's coming off a little low, and it's gonna spin and balloon up, and I'm actually gonna get it to come down and stick with my hybrid, whereas with like the Snell 4.0, I got 1,000 RPM average less spin. That one's probably going to roll to the back of the green. This one isn't. It's actually going to stick a little bit, which is awesome, because remember, it has that urethane. It has a little bit of stickiness to it, so I like to see that. Getting into the driver, we know the driver can make or break it. 1.44 on your smash factor. 227.5, that's a good number. 235.4, 141.9, 2590. So it actually spun pretty high, and it looks like it launched pretty decently high as well. So launches high, has high spin. It could be ballooning a little bit up in the air, but considering I'm getting 5 yards more than my average, I'm not going to complain because it's doing what it's supposed to. That number isn't as impressive as some of the other ones, but hey, at least it wasn't a negative. I've seen golf balls before come on here and, you know, be amazing with the 9 and amazing with the 7, and then I lose distance with the 5 and I lose distance with the driver a lot. Not the case here. I'm gaining yards across the board with every club. So awesome to see. Before I dive into my final thoughts, I do want to talk about the durability. Now, normally with durability, I would show you guys the golf ball. I do a little video and I show you, the golf ball and stuff, but I'm so sorry. I can't do that this time because remember the schoolyard story I told you? Well, that's where the golf ball is. It's in the schoolyard, and I'd have to hop a fence and a couple fences to go get it, and it just ended up not being worth it for me. But I will tell you how it was, and I'll be honest about it. It was 7 out of 10. Basically, it was not anything that would damage the golf ball. It was just those minor scrapes and cuts. After about 80 shots, which is around, it's going to be done. You're going to want to, it's a little bit better than the Snell because the Snell had paint flaking up on it. There was none of that. It was just really smooth across the board, except for some spots where you're like, that urethane's starting to kind of wear off because it's not, again, it's not AAA Pro V1 urethane. It's just like a medium. So it got through a round. That's really all you can ask for. Solid 7 out of 10. All right, so my final thoughts. I'm really glad that I decided not to be putting any of these balls I'm testing now into my top 100. I'm going to do that probably halfway through the season, compile all of them, and then also do it at the end of the season, mainly because with the new launch monitor, my increased swing speed, the amazing brand new golf ball lineup, everything would be in the top 10. Like all the Vice models were just incredible. We tested in the Snells, and the Snells did really well. And now look, now we've tested this, and this is phenomenal. I love that. I love that we're getting some amazing competition. This competition is getting really heated up, and I'm trying to think. I don't know exactly where I would put this, but I'm glad I don't have to make that decision right now. But there's a good chance it's probably going to be top 10, top 5. I mean, think about it. It's a value golf ball at $29.99 a dozen. It has amazing design to it. It does everything really well. It performs around the green just fine. I broke records with 2 clubs. The other 2 are pretty good for the most part. I mean, I imagine top 10 is probably where it would fall, and that really makes sense. You know it's going to have a great value score. You know it's going to have a great design score. It has a good, I mean, nothing really is bad about this golf ball. The only thing I could really find bad about it was maybe the 50-yard spin. So that's a possibility. So maybe that. So if it's not top 10, it's definitely top 15. This golf ball is definitely worth your time. If you're someone who swings anywhere from 85 to 100 miles per hour, this is not your traditional 4-piece urethane golf ball. It's not clicky. It's not really firm like most of them are. This is a balanced golf ball like the Vice Tour or the Snell 3.0 that's designed to be in the middle of all these golfers. 85 to 100, somewhere in there, fits a variety of swing speeds. And if you're in that and you're looking for, a 3-piece or a 4-piece or something that's a little more advanced for intermediate players to advanced players, you got to give this a try. You have to. It's definitely got to be on your radar. It does so many things well. It breaks records. I can't get over how amazing the feel is when you hit it well. It's just like a rocket taking off. It's really cool. And this is the type of golf ball, I don't know what you'd call it. Someone at work called it boutique, and I think that's genius. Like the idea of these different vintage type looks that aren't, your generic, and then having, the designs on the side. It's right up my alley. It's definitely worth a shot for a variety of golfers. So if you do end up playing with it and trying them out for only $29.99 a dozen, please let me know your feedback. Let me know if you end up liking them or not, or what you do like, what you don't like. But again, I think it's really awesome that we have so many great golf balls. It's going to be difficult, and it's going to be a heck of a watch. Must-see TV when the top 10, top 20 come out, and get updated, if you will, halfway through the season and at the end of the season. There's going to be so much more competition now. I don't know how it's going to be tough. I'm going to have to spend weeks in the lab. So as always, guys, keep watching, keep saving, and keep learning. Until next time, thank you so much.